Hi there. Welcome to Talk Yarny to Me. I am once again Zuri. I will be talking yarny with you for the next few minutes. How's everybody been doing? I don't remember how long it's been. It's been like what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Sorry. I've been doing good though. It's been a bit busy. Last week we had our youngest here with us for the full week. He's usually just here like every other weekend. So I worked from home and we, just to keep an eye on him. So my mom and my 12-year-old wouldn't be keeping him alive. So that was, it was good to have him here. He's like, out of the kids, he's the sweetest because he's like the little one that still likes us as opposed to like the moody preteen that the other two are. So it's fun having him here, but it was busier than usual. And what else has been going on? Work is work. Got a few projects I've been working on, things like that. Haven't gone into the office well, I went today, but I hadn't gone into the office for like not last week at all, like since like middle of the week before that. But we're getting ready to shut down that office, and so there's things to do there. I went in today and there was nobody there and I went in just because I was feeling guilty for not going for like 2 weeks. And one of my coworkers pinged me last night or yesterday evening. He was like, "Are you planning to come to the office anytime this week?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess I'll come tomorrow." Because every morning I've gotten up and been like, I should go to the office, and then it's just so much easier to just like stay in bed and just kind of ramble downstairs in time to log in. But I got up today and went to the office and nobody was there. Apparently, when I talked to one of the guys, he had been there like a little bit before I got there, because I didn't even get there till like 10 o'clock. I kind of logged on from home and picked up some work and then kind of got ready and went. So yeah, and I feel like there's something else going on, but I don't remember. Is that the cat? You see the cat back there? But yeah, anyway, I have been knitting and crocheting. I guess I'll start with stuff you should recognize. This is, okay, so I've actually got a lot of work done. So my son's blanket, I've gotten a lot of work done on it. Look at that. From this angle, you still can't see the transition, which I'm a little bit miffed about. You can kind of see it. Can you guys see that? So this is one square, and then this is, you see the difference there? So I'll just keep it like this is 4 corners. So I'm a little more than halfway done with like the second row. The width across is about, I think each of these squares is about 9 inches. And I've got 7 of them, 7 squares. So it's gonna be about 63 inches wide, just a little bit over 5 feet. Sorry if you do not use the English system. That's like what, a meter and some change. Sorry, I don't know. It's funny because I studied engineering, and we do like almost everything you do is in metric system, like the math and science that we do. And you're just like, I think I mentioned this before, like you're just answering, you work out a whole problem, spend 10 minutes like on a calculus problem or physics problem, and then the answer is like in metric units, and you have no like frame of reference to know, like you calculate how fast the car is going or something, and then you have no frame of reference. So you like or it'll be like 300 meters per second, and I'm like, I don't know if that makes sense or not. So anyway, 5.5 feet, or a little over 5 feet. It's about the same length as I am tall. This is a good width for a blanket. It's probably a little wider than I needed to make it for such a tiny kid, but and then we'll go so it's probably gonna have to be at least like 7 squares high, which I don't know if I have enough yarn for. I'm pretty sure I don't, but we'll see. I'll buy a little bit more if I have to, because that'll make it about 5 feet by 5 feet. I think that's pretty good. So anyway, so that's this. I like the colors. This is I'm on my second skein of both of these colors, and then once I am done with those, like I have grays and blues and other shades that I'll attach, so it won't be like consistent. As much as I like these colors, it won't be consistent color throughout. It's just gonna kind of change as I run out of one color or another. But it's just, I just gathered up all of the grays and blues I could find. And then my other thing that you would recognize is this, which I might actually pull this out. So it's this blanket, this little baby blanket I've been working on. This is the mosaic knit one. Let me get a little closer because, like, you see that? It's pretty. I like it, but I remembered, I saw in my knitting group, there's kind of this other mosaic brick pattern that I forgot about, that I kind of like more than this. So this one, it's just like one row of each of, you know, of the, I guess, the brick part. Whereas the one I saw, you do like a, you do 2 rows. So what you do is that you, here in this part, in between the bricks, like you slip the stitch, right? So, and then like the other rows that are the horizontal rows that you knit in the what is it, the base color, I guess. Let's say this is the base color, and like the red, the soft red is like the, what is the word, the alternate color. So in the base color, you would knit across, and then the second, and then you would slip the stitch to make like the little brick. Anyway, I'm rambling, but this other pattern, when you do what's called a, what is it? Like a drop stitch. So you wrap the cord around, you wrap the yarn around twice when you do this knitting. And then when you slip it, you drop that stitch off, one of those stitches off, so that it's like elongated. So you can slip it twice. And so then you kind of like knit this twice. And so it's thicker. I should just find a picture and put it up because I'm not explaining it well. I'm thinking about going back and doing it like that. But this is so little, like this yarn is so thin. Like this represents a lot of work. Like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is like 16 rows. I'm not ripping it back. I'm not ripping it back. Thanks for helping me think that through. It's just like not. And then this is not something that I mean, I could though, because this is not something that has to get done. It's just something I'm doing for fun. There's no deadline on it. But I think that's the only stuff that you've seen that I got going that you guys have seen before. I finished, I mailed off my friend's blanket. I showed you the 3 ponchos I made for her daughters, and I finished the poncho for her. I will put a picture up. I'll put a picture of all, well, I got individual pictures, so I'll put the pictures up of all 4 of them, starting from the smallest to like there's like a toddler, a 5-year-old, a 7 or 8-year-old, and an adult. I'll put them in like that order right now. So, yeah. Okay, so that was them. And they're pretty, and I love them. I sent them off. According to I didn't pay for like any of the extra expedited shipping. I sent them on Monday. I sent them on Monday, and they were supposed to get there today. I don't know if I have tracking. I didn't pay for tracking. I don't remember if you have to pay for tracking with regular shipping at the post office. And it wasn't too expensive to ship. It was $25, which is not bad. I found I shipped it all together. And it's supposed to get there today, but I hadn't heard from my friend, so I don't know if it got there or not. But I'm excited to see what she thinks of it. But yeah, that's that. So that is done. But I loved it. I almost was so sad to see it go because it came out so pretty. So because this blanket that I just showed you, the pink one, is going to take years of my life probably because it's so thin. I have another blanket that I'm working on, a baby blanket, because I do have another friend that's pregnant. So I have another blanket that I'm working on that I just started. Well, I didn't just start. I think I started last weekend. That is going to get done in a more timely manner. And that is this blanket. So this is just a, what is it called? Solid granny square, which is something I've been wanting to try for a while. It is buckling. Do you see that? I don't know if I added stitches or I lost stitches somewhere, but you can see that it's buckling. So far I've been doing like 2 rows of yellow, 2 rows of gray. I'm already tired of switching colors. So I'm gonna start doing bigger blocks of color. So I guess this is like a little bit alternate color to center. I'm gonna start doing some bigger blocks. What I'm using is Little Twist baby yarn from, what's this place called? Joann's. I got it on clearance a while ago. I think I got it before the clearance went down to 25% off. I thought I did get one after. I found another one like the last time I went to the store when the clearance was at 25% off. But this is just, it's acrylic baby yarn. It's a 4 though. Whereas a lot of baby yarns I noticed are 3, but it's very soft. It's got this kind of, you can't see it here. You can see it better with this. So it's the color, and it's got these little, I wouldn't call them flecks, but I guess they're flecks running through it. It's, is it all acrylic? Let's see. 91% acrylic and 9% viscose, which I'm assuming is the little flecks. Yeah, it's a little bit, not splitty. I don't know if splitty is the term. But it's a little bit slippery, definitely, but it's fine to work with. I am a little bit worried about the buckling. We're gonna go a little bit further and then see if it gets worse or better. I feel like it's not that bad, and maybe it'll block out. I'm really close, I'm sorry. Maybe it'll block out. I don't wanna take it out only because I've already cut all these. And then it's gonna be a bear. I have more of this though. I have at least one more of each color. So if I need to start over, I can, but we'll see. This color is, let's see, just yellow. And this one is dark gray. So these are on clearance. These are the only colors I feel like I saw in the store. At least maybe they're the only ones that are getting clearanced out. I don't usually go down the baby yarn aisle. I'm not a huge like baby yarn person, even though I make a lot of baby blankets. Like I use regular yarn, but some of them I like, I'll find them if I see them. Sometimes I'll buy them on clearance and stuff, but I don't ever specifically go looking for baby yarns. Like, I don't generally love like the washed out colors at palettes, or like the thinness of it, or like the super softness of it because it's so slippery. But obviously you see me use it, so I use it. Okay. And then I finished a few things. I guess I gave myself a little bit of a brain break as far as crocheting and knitting goes, and did some smaller things this week. Both hats. So if you remember, I showed you guys this hat that I made for my son, this Spider-Man Miles Morales hat, which he liked, but apparently in Miles's costume, the webbing is red and not white. And so he was like, well, why is it white? And I was like, because that's the way the tutorial did it. I'm also not a fan. So the way they do the web is you just kind of like extend it, and it looks messy. I mean, once you put the hat on, and probably from even like here, it doesn't look that bad. But I don't know, the few times perfectionist things about me, I'm kind of like, that looks messy, especially like right in here, the kind of center of the web, and like down here. And the eyes are a little, like, this one's, makes it look off center. But whatever, it was the first try. So I'll give this to my youngest son. Also, I didn't, like, leave enough slack when I did the strings. So on the inside, you see, like, they don't lie flat to the hat, which is not, once you put it on your head, it'll push it down in there. But it's annoying. But I'll give this to our youngest. That's what my son. It's like, just give it to him. So we will. So I went ahead and made another one with the correct red webbing. And this one, I actually stitched the webbing on here. So this is slip stitches here to go around, very loose ones, and then this is chains. And it goes all the way around, whereas this one, you only do it the front. So I like it. I feel like I like the, I feel like, so I made the eyes the same and they're the same size, but I feel like I stretched them more on this one. It looks a little more stretched out, and this looks a little, I don't know, natural as superhero costume eyes can look. So these look kind of huge. But I sent a picture to my son because he's at his dad's house this week, and he said thank you. So I guess he approves. We'll see when he puts it on. I feel like this is it on. And see, I don't love like that. The eyes go like so far to the side of the head so that you can't really see. But I feel like, let me look at the other one. This one, and you know, also my head is big. See, it's a little more at the front. You can see what they are, but it could just be me being weird. Anyway, either way, they're good for like a first and second attempt. You know, I like them. I think they came out really cool. I might do some more. There's that. And then the other thing I made was just this, it's a bag of day hat. Actually, it's the most recent hat that she did. It came out yesterday, and I watched the tutorial, and one, I thought it was really cool that I like understood it immediately. And like I could have probably done it without like I watched it while I was walking the dogs. I was like, oh yeah, this is easy, I can do that. And I probably could have done it without watching the tutorial again while I did it. I just did this. I think I started this. Did I start this yesterday or the day before? I finished it yesterday. But yeah, I mean, I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Like I understood how to do the increases without like, you know, I knew exactly what, you know, each of the next steps would be. Like before, not all of them, but a lot of them before she said them. I haven't watched it yet. But yeah, I like it. I don't like it for me because, okay, so it's made entirely with post stitches. So these are front posts, these are back posts, front post, back post. And so obviously like where it's a front post here on the inside, it's like the ridges. So that takes up a lot of space like in the hat, makes it way super thick, which I guess is good if you live somewhere where you need somewhere thick. But also, like I actually went I went a row beyond like of single crochets down here on the brim beyond like what the pattern called for, I think. Or maybe I stopped at the, yeah, I went a row beyond. And it still feels short. And I don't know if it's just because of my hair and the way it sits on my head. Like after it flattens my hair down, plus you have the ridges inside, like it's a little short. I like my earlobes to be covered because they get cold. If I went much further, it probably would have been like down. That's always like my dilemma. If I go too far, it's like down. It's like it fits like this. But if I don't go far enough, then it doesn't cover my hair. So that's why I think crochet hats are not necessarily for me. For the most part, it's hard for me to get them to fit well. I also did, I decreased, which she didn't do in her tutorial, but I, jeez. Hold on, I gotta do something with this. I'm going to, yeah, not going anywhere, but anyway, it's another reason I don't wear hats a lot, because hair issues. But I decreased at the brim because I felt like it was like too, and I always had this problem when I do a top-down hats with crochet, is that like it's always like I feel like it's too loose up here. I don't know if I am my gauge is looser or if it's just because of like the way it sits on my head or what. But I decreased like 12 stitches. Like it goes, you increase up to 72. This is all 72. I did like the first row of single crochets. Here I decreased, and then I did 2 more rows after that. But I like it. It's just gonna go to donation. I felt like I contemplated like doing another row down here, but I think it's just the way that it sits, because it's a because the crown is all post stitches. Like it sits kind of flat. It looks like more squat than it actually is. Like I'm gonna wash it too, maybe that'll help. But I mean, this is probably more true, like the size it is, but it sits like this. So it looks short. Anyway, this is, I'm going to donate. I'm going to get back into making hats like probably at least once a week, because I had wanted to like do that for practice, and then I could just donate them. I'm either going to donate them, I'm either going to find like a foster care kind of place to donate them to, or I'm going to take them to my son's school and donate them to like this school, because they're big about like giving stuff away. Like we did a school starting next week, next Wednesday, and we went to like the Meet Your Teacher event they did today, and I came from the office, so I was like a little bit later, but him and his dad had got there before, and they signed in, and they gave everyone like this whole it's over there, Ziploc bag with school supplies, and it's pretty much everything on the school supply list except for a laptop, which they give them the laptop too. They don't hand them out the first week. They're like big on like giving stuff away. I know they do like a food pantry. We never really participated because we didn't need it, but I know they did a food pantry where they would like every week, I think every Thursday, like they give away like food. I think one time I took home some potatoes because they still had them, but they give away like a insulated bag full of food, and then you bring it back the next week, they give it away. So like full of like produce and stuff, which actually I could have used because I stink at buying produce. Like I'm one of those people that buys stuff. No, actually I couldn't use it because I wouldn't use it. I'm definitely one of those people that is very ambitious about buying produce, and then it just goes bad in my fridge. Like I try so hard. But point being that my son's school is like pretty big on giving to the community, and the area that I live in, it's like there's a lot of dichotomy. You know, it's definitely like known, the reputation is like we're the poor side of town, whereas like most of like the 6-figure jobs and the just the good jobs and things like that are on the north side. The south side is definitely more blue collar. I work on the south side. I mean, I don't have a blue collar job, but it's very rare. And so the median income in my side of town is definitely a lot less than on the north side of town, like probably half, at least half of what it is on the north side of town. And so while there's people like me that make, you know, a very good living, there's also a lot of people that, you know, don't. And then obviously like the property values are lower because we're the poor side of town. And so the schools get their funding from the property taxes, and so you know the schools are not always well funded, and so you know it's a whole trickle thing. But why am I talking about this? Oh yeah, so there's people in need. It's kind of my point. In our community, you know, and I know my son's school. You know, if I took a box of hats and I'm like, hey, the weather's getting colder, just wanted to give these out to, you know, you guys can have these available to anyone that needs them, then, you know, they'll probably, you know, they'll do a good job of disseminating. That's not the word. Distributing. Distributing them. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now. I have some ideas floating around in my head, but I'm gonna try not to start anything because, should I show you guys? There's stuff I have started. Maybe I'll show you guys next time. So there's definitely stuff like that's been sitting abandoned for almost like for several months. Like I told you guys I have a sweater that I was making for my husband. I have this blanket. Like I was trying to figure out like I was just experimenting with like knitting in a circular pattern. And I made one circular baby blanket, and then I kind of was just doing research on like how do you make a circle. So I just I made that one. This one I made and I gave it away a long time ago. You do so to knit a circle. It's not even a true circle. It's more of an octagon, but it looks like a circle. So to do it in knitting, it's pretty similar to crochet in that you have to like do increases at increments, and the magic number is about 8 or at least 8. So there's 2 different ways. You can either increase like every 8 stitches, and that'll get you a good circle. It's technically an octagon, but it looks circular. Or it's something called a pie. It's like a pie circle, where I forget the formula, but you have to double your stitches, like, or double the number of stitches like every certain number of rows. I don't remember what it is, but I was experimenting with doing like the increase every 8. So I was doing a circular thing with some cupcake yarn that I really liked, and increasing every 8, or doing 8 increases, not every 8 stitches, but doing 8 increases evenly spaced. So when you first start, it is every 8, but you know, yeah, you start with 8, you increase. Anyway, I'll show it to you another time. But so yeah, it's in 8 panels, I guess, because you increase 8 times, or you have 8 different sections. So I have that I was working on, that I, you know, put aside months ago. I was just gonna go and go and go until I was out of yarn, and then just like, okay, well, that's as big as it is. If it's a baby blanket, if it's a shawl, I didn't know if it was gonna end up being a shawl, if it was gonna be a lap blanket, like how big it was gonna get. But you know, it was just an experiment. So there's that. I have like the shawl I was working on. That one, I don't know if it's gonna end up being a shawl or a blanket or what either, because just I have, you guys remember Blue Jean yarn? I don't know if they still make it, Lion Brand Blue Jean. So I bought that years ago when I first discovered clearance yarn, probably about 3 years ago at Joann. I bought a bunch of it. They had like, you know, they had several different colors. They have like the regular denim color, then they have like that light blue, like for light denim, and then they also had the like that orangish color, like, you know, the, what is it, the stitching on jeans is that orangish color. They have that. And then they had like a, I guess like a stonewashy, or like a, what is it called? Ouch, see my nail. Like a dark gray. I don't even remember what the 4th one. I have at least 4 or 5 colors, like different, think of the different colors your jeans comes in. I have them, and I have them in different quantities. And so what I was working on was a, it was gonna be like a wrap. So I did a long lengthwise panel, and I did the granite stitch, which is knit, which is kind of, I think it's an antique stitch, but it's pretty cool. I've done some other stuff with that stitch. So I did the granite stitch, and I also did it not necessarily on a bias, but like a parallelogram. So you, I wish I had something I could show you with. So you increase at one end and you decrease on the other end, and it just like grows. How do I show you? It grows as a parallelogram. So the the right side, let's say this side, you know, is slanted this way at the bottom, and it's straight, and then this, the other end is slanted this way at the top. So I don't know, you know what a parallelogram is, I hope, or Google it, I hope. But anyway, that was kind of the idea. I just wanted to do something different, play with shaping, something I made up. And so I think I took it to my kid's soccer game once, and like, I'm trying to do it, you know, and I did like a whole long row the wrong stitch. So I had to go, like, I did a couple rows maybe wrong, and I had to go and ting it back. And at that point I was like, all right, you're in timeout. And it's been in timeout since like last fall. So there's that. I want to pull out, so pretty much I have some abandoned projects that I need to do. So I'm trying not to start anything new. And I'm gonna start pulling those out and doing stuff with them. And there was something else. I tried to do this beach cover up with Premier Hipster Cotton. This is like, this has to be over a year too. This is over a year, because way more than a year, because I started working. I was like, my goal, my plan was to knit a beach cover up that I could then take on my honeymoon, and I did not get very far. I picked the whole wrong pattern, and probably, like, now knowing what I know, this is before I was crocheting, I would definitely do it in crochet. So it's probably what I'm gonna do. I think I started to try to like rip it out, and then it got all tangled up. So that's gonna be a whole thing, trying to get that out. I might just cut it, because I have like 6 of them. I have enough to make it. So like I gotta pull that out. What else? Several projects. I'll probably, maybe next time, maybe I'll make another video right now showing you guys like all my abandoned projects. I might actually do that. I might take you guys into the other room and do that. Like not like in this video because it's already 30 minutes long. In my next video. Okay, and speaking of learning to crochet, I realized that yesterday or the day before is my crochet-overstay, 1 year from when I was like, from when I really crocheted something. I only know because I think I posted on my Facebook, and I have, you know, they have the memories, and the memory popped up. Yesterday the memory popped up with the first little swatch that I successfully did, because I did, like maybe a few weeks before that, I tried to do it. And because I have like these old crochet hooks and knitting needles that belong to my grandma that my aunt gave me years ago. And so this one, I didn't know any better. It's got to be a Tunisian hook now that I look at it, because it's long, which I didn't know, because knitting needle, it's like the aluminum ones. It's like a long and aluminum. It's the same length or maybe a little longer than like the aluminum knitting needles that I started with. So I just assumed crochet hooks came like that too. So I'm like trying with like that and like some Super Saver maybe to like, and it was like a hot mess. I was like, no way. So then I was like, well, okay, crochet is not gonna be my thing, I guess. But then I was like, maybe it's these hooks. So I ordered these on Amazon. It's just Yarnus, which I know a lot of, it's just kind of, I guess it's the knockoff of Boy hooks. But it was just, I wanted a full set. It was the cheapest full set that I could find, and like didn't want to pay a ton of money because I was like, maybe I won't like it, or maybe I won't be able to do it. So I ordered these, and I tried again, and I found like I don't remember if it was the same tutorial, or I think it was a different tutorial this time. And this time it was easy, so the hook made a whole difference, and probably because it was the wrong kind of hook. And then so I did a little swatch. So I saw a picture yesterday of like the first little swatch I made, like come up on my Facebook memories. And then today I was looking and I saw a picture of the first hat I made, which was like a Bag O' Day hat. I just was like, I don't remember if I was looking for a tutorial or if it just popped up in my screen, in my timeline thing, or whatever you call it on YouTube. And I liked it. And I clicked it, and it was actually with swirl cakes. So it was with swirl cakes, which I was like, oh, I got those. And so I ran to the garage. I had to dig them out because I bought swirl cakes like years ago when they came out, and because I just thought they were pretty. And I think my idea then was to make a blanket out of them. I didn't really know at the time, like, for when there was a blanket. Is it on here? It's not this one, but there's a blanket on the ball band. Like, I think this one is, no, this one's knit. Maybe this is the one I saw. But I bought enough to make a blanket, not in this color. And I think I got these for something else. Like, I just like these. I got a couple different colors, but I got enough of one color to make a blanket. I think you needed 6. And I never made it. And at the time, I didn't really know, like, you know, appropriate yarns for different projects. Like, I did make a blanket out of this, but I gave it away. I made it for someone else, and I felt bad. It came out pretty, but I was like, they're gonna use it one time and it's gonna get all pilly, and it's gonna shed on them, or they're gonna try to wash it or something. But it was pretty. It was like a wedding gift. So, but you know, I know better now. But I had these like in my garage, like, and I never used them. And I saw this tutorial, and she's like, oh, I use Karen's roll cakes. And I was like, I have those. So I ran and grabbed them, and I made a hat. I'll put a picture up if I think I can get the picture. It came out gigantic. It's a top down. It actually, I think it used post stitches too, and I used some other stitches, but it came out, I have it too, it's in my garage. It came out so big, but I made it, and I made it in one night, which I was like, you know, there's times when I can't make a hat. I can't make a hat in one night. I can make a hat in a day, but I can't make a hat in one night, you know. Made this in like one evening in a few hours. So I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. And that's where I started my crochet journey. So, so yeah, yesterday or today, whatever you count, however you count it, today's the 27th of July, and we'll say today. Today's is like the anniversary of the day I first made something. So it's my crochet anniversary. So, That's exciting. I feel like I learned a lot this year. Came a long way. I definitely finished a lot more in crochet than I did knit, which is not hard because it just goes so much faster. Oh, I messed this up. Or is that my seam? You see that? I just noticed. I don't know if that's my seam. It might be. It is. It's the seam. Okay. It is what it is. Anyway, yeah, it's thank you to everyone. Like I watch, I don't suspect. I know a couple of the people that I watched before I had a channel, like at least subscribe to me. I don't know if they watch it, but like there's so many people that kind of inspired me to even try this. There's a few like, people show stuff and I'm like, oh, I'd love to be able to make it. And then I don't remember. Oh, I know exactly what I saw that was like, okay, I'm learning to crochet. It was like this bag of day dress that she made, I think with a Super Bowl from the Yarn Snob people, but it's like in Tiffany blue, which is like one of my favorite. It was like this color blue. And I was like, oh, okay, I gotta learn how to crochet. And I think that's the night I pulled out that Tunisian hook and like, I was like, I have to learn how to do this. And it was not a success then, but it definitely started me on this journey. I probably wouldn't have thought to have a like do a channel of my own if I didn't also crochet, because I know the content that I like to watch, even though I knit is like my first craft and probably I'd still say it's my primary craft. Like, I prefer crocheting podcasts. I feel like they're a little more, I mentioned this like when I first started, I feel like they're a little more down to earth than knitting podcasts, which is, I don't know. Like, not to diss anyone or not to rain on anyone's parade. Do what you love and how you love it, But I feel like, yeah, I wouldn't have felt as comfortable jumping into that space as I do, like, as someone that also can crochet a little bit and can talk about that. So yeah, anyway, that's what's going on here. Thank you to everyone that watches. So if you watch me and you like and you comment, and I have not responded, which I am so bad at doing, please do not take it personally. I have like, I read it all. I don't always I'm always like, okay, I'm gonna respond to that later when I have time, and just later never comes. Or when I remember, it's when I can't do it. And so I will try to go back and catch any comments that I may have missed. I like to at least heart them, but I think the last video, I don't think I did even that. For one, I have two YouTubes. I have this one for yarny stuff. I have my personal one that I use just for like watching any other random thing, and then this one is just all just for my yarn contents. For some people, for some of y'all, I'm subscribed to y'all on both, because I started just on my other, it's not a channel. I don't have any content on there. I just watch, so that's like the one I kind of, podcasts and things like that. But I used to do everything just on that one until I started this channel. And now I try to keep all my yarn stuff over here. But if I was subscribed to you over on the other channel, chances are I'm subscribed to you on that too. So some of you get double subscription from me. But yeah, so I go back and forth. Also, I'm not only always on this channel or this account. And so that's another reason why I don't always I don't even always see all the notifications right then. But I do need to do a better job, because I do appreciate people watching. Like, I don't want anyone to ever feel like I don't appreciate them watching and commenting and engaging, and I will do a better job of engaging back. So there's that. The second thing is, and hopefully I remember to do this, I will try to put my email in the description box. If I don't remember to do it, it is talkyarny2me@gmail.com, but it's not. So my channel name is talkyarny2, number 2 me, whereas my email is talkyarny2me. And the reason for that is because I did it originally as talkyarny2me with TO, just written out with no numbers, and then I messed something up. I don't remember what. So I deleted it that same night that I made the channel, and then I tried to redo it, and it wouldn't let me. It didn't, immediately recognized, I guess, that channel was deleted. So it was like, this channel's not available. And so I was just like, I didn't want to wait. So I just was like, okay, Talk Your Honey to me with a 2. And so that's why the email is different from the channel name, but it's Talk Your Honey to me, Talk Your Honey T-O-me @gmail.com. Yeah, I will try to remember to put it in the box though, in the description. So if you ever want to email me, I do not check that email very, very often, because I never have put it out there. So I don't expect to be getting emails on it, but I will start checking it. And so if you ever want to reach out to me, you have a question that you don't want to put in comments or anything, feel free to email me on that. Yeah, I have a question for you guys. Okay. I have this Soul Blossom cake that I got on clearance when they were clearancing them out. It was the only one left. I like the colors. It's passion fruit. I want to do like a shawl or a shawlette with it. I don't think it's enough. It's definitely not enough to do like a big shawl, but like I envision something I can just throw around my shoulders, like in the fall when my son has soccer practice in the evenings. It's starting to get cold. So I want something, I want like a lacy or like airy drapey shawl. I don't need it to be like tight stitches or anything like that. I just kind of want something almost like a mesh, meshy shawl. So I did a little searching. I couldn't find anything that I really, and it doesn't have to be that big. Like whenever I run out of this, that's gonna be how big it is. So if it's just like, oh, even like a glorified scarf, like that's what it ends up being. But you know, I do want to find something to do with this. So if you guys know, I did a little searching. I couldn't really find anything on, well, I looked specifically for this yarn just on Ravelry to see if there was anything people did with like just one skein that worked. I didn't feel anything. I just did a little searching through YouTube for various tutorials. I haven't been on Pinterest yet, but I will. But if you guys have any suggestions of like a good knit or crochet, kind of airy open stitch that I can make a triangle shawl or shawlette with this. This is how many yards? 481 yards of a 4. Oh, it's a 4. Yeah, of a 4. It doesn't have to be like super heavy. It's really just like a one little extra layer just to throw around when I'm at soccer practice or when I'm, I don't know, doing something. So I have a couple ideas that I might use. I saw one tutorial from Carrie Penny at the Happy Crafty Homemaker that I might jump into. And I might just do a regular like mesh stitch in knit. There's a bug flying around here, sorry. So I might just do that. It's not super creative. It's not super, what is the word, creative, but it'll get the job done. There's a couple ideas, but if you have any suggestions, put them in the comments. Thank you for watching. Thank you for, there is a fly. Look, it's right on my camera. I'm surprised you guys can't see it. Oof. Go away. Yes, thank you for watching. If you have subscribed, thank you for subscribing. Oh, the last thing, if you have a channel that I can watch, I feel like my timeline is getting a little repetitive. If you have a channel that I can watch and you know I'm not subscribed, or you're not sure if I'm subscribed, put it in the comments. I will go over there. I will subscribe. I will watch. I need to diversify a little bit. I feel like I'm getting, I don't know if it's just the algorithm, but I'm getting the same couple of people all the time. So I want to find some new people to watch. I'll still watch everyone else, all the people I've been watching, but I definitely want to, I don't want to silo myself into just, you know, the same handful of people all the time. So if you have a channel, you put out videos, even if you don't put out videos very often, put them in the comments and I will check you out. Okay, I'm gonna go now. I will maybe do another video right now and put it up in a day or two, showing you all my abandoned projects that I need to get back to. So I'll see you guys in probably 3 to 4 minutes for me, but who knows how long for you guys. Anyway, bye.